control. I'm living fast, I lost my soul. I'm driving to get away, running through emotions high and low, holding on or letting go. I'm fighting another day. Eyes on the road, don't lose control. I'm speeding fast to chase my soul. I'm driving to get away, heading back to what used to be home, where every mile is a new beginning and every bend holds a new end.
At 12:51 p.m. on the 22nd of February 2011, a magnitude 7.1 earthquake hit Christchurch, displacing thousands of people from their homes, destroying hundreds of buildings in their main CBD. And as the aftershock subsided, the initial rebuild plan was contentious. They had to red zone specific parts of the city, displacing hundreds and hundreds of people on land on which they couldn't build ever again.
Living in Australia, you kind of feel as though you got the full story, a picture of what happened here 12 years ago. It's only really until you come here that you understand the full extent of a disaster. This all looks as though it might be the edge of a golf course, but in actuality, this used to be a thriving suburban street. People lived here, but now it's just left abandoned, unfortunately. It's only until you get the drone out that you can actually see the contrast. What work still needs to be done?
And although buildings may be beaten and battered, art comes to fill their place. It comes to encompass a spirit of overcoming obstacle. And today we hope to do a little of the same.
Whenever sort of starting a painting, there's always a little bit of anxiety in, is the subject good enough? Is it going to be interesting enough? Is it going to translate into a painting as well as you hope? And ultimately, that's really what a lot of painting is about, just a lot of hope, desire. So with this, I'm just trying to feel out the biggest shapes, trying to get that mass, that volume of the shape that I've got in front of me, and just trying to sort of look for ways to bring that to life. The relationship between the absolute bigger shapes and those smaller triangles, all putting that into play. So here we go, just bringing on some of those verticals, just trying to get some of those big mid-tones in. I've already got the darkest dark, which is the doorways, and then I'll go searching for those mid-tones, because it really is the mid-tone that will tie the whole painting together. It's not quite the lightest value, it's not quite the darkest, but have a look at that beautiful sunlight. It's such a beautiful day. There's lots of people around. You can see the ducks swimming by. You really couldn't have asked for such a more magical little place to paint. Sometimes that can actually be a little bit of a distraction. So that's why this middle part of the painting really got to stay focused. One of the areas I find with a painting, or the painting process, is remaining sort of focused on the job at hand, making sure the mind doesn't drift away. It really does take incredible focus, determination, discipline. What looks like just a little bit of fun time, it really is a mental exercise, and you'll always be sort of trying to sort of look for ways to enhance that. So that's why sometimes even just a cup of coffee to start the day, to get you focused, to get you in your rhythm, your routine is subtly important, I find. On this occasion I didn't have any music playing, which I normally do love to have, but I guess the wind and the breeze and the chatter of people around me, that was going to be my music for the day. So you'll notice I just did a bit of rubbing out, and that's sometimes always a good trick, no matter where, when and how. It's just to keep that paint moving. Okay, some delicate work now. This is a part where we'll integrate the foliage with the buildings. I do like to leave the sky till later, and a lot of people will always wonder why. There is a certain amount of danger actually in doing it this way, because I'm having to work with a certain amount of assurity, and quite often I'm actually not 100% sure if they're going to integrate. But the one plus is, if I go early, if I get it muddy, if I get it dirty, the sky is such an important part of the whole painting. It really is the crucial part. So here we go, a little bit of a tester, because if I go too light, it's going to look washed out. Too dark, it'll look overcast. It's really the time where I need to be right on song, tonal value wise. I can go a little towards a red or even a little bit of a green, but I need that light and dark value working for me, because that's what's going to bring the sunlight. And then that will also sort of work the colour scheme ultimately as well, because I'm using the blues up against that pinky sort of red, the shadows, tying it all the way through. And that's something that I like to do before I start painting. Look at the scene, think, okay, that's the temperature there, I need to make this all work in together. This was one thing when I started the painting, I wasn't sure what I was going to do really with these stripes. The inclination is to leave them out because they're quite tricky, very easy to overdo. But I found it actually, when the moment came, it was actually a lot easier and not as big a worry as I thought. So that's one of those sort of little things that you think is going to be a problem, but doesn't always work out that way. So it was a nice little surprise. All the time thinking, you know what, there's so many figures coming by, you can even see them in the background, jumping into boats, jumping out. The workmen here were really great. They let me actually get in around, photograph around the boats, and they were so helpful. So that was always a plus, because whenever you travel, you're never sure what your reaction's going to be with us being there, because we're kind of intruding a little bit on the locals' lives. But this was just a great experience. And you'll notice that I'm just using a few little brush marks just to sort of help indicate a little bit of that blue sky into the water, but I'm also trying to use it as a device to stop the eye dropping out at the bottom of the painting as well. With such a vertically strong painting, that's quite crucial as well, that I don't have the viewer's eye dropping out visually as well. So this was a good fun day. It's always nice to get the signature signing brush out and put the name on it, because it's normally a proud moment that we have. Well, that was a fun little scene to paint. It was backlit, it was lots of challenges with the boats coming and going and noise all around. The wind was here, but it was nowhere near a concern. I really loved the site. I reckon I could do 3 or 4 different paintings from this same place, up higher, up over on the bridge. It's just one of those magic little places to paint, and I think it kind of sums up Christchurch. It's gone through some tough times, but there really is a magic spirit here that's really holding it together and really makes it an exciting, fun place to visit and to also spend time here.
And that's a wrap on New Zealand. That was both a lot of fun and a lot of hard work, whether that be when we were in Queenstown getting blown out of Lake Wakatupu,
having to improvise and move back to the hotel room, or in Dunedin when we had to film down on Tunnel Beach. Spectacular views, but a sheer cliff of a hike back up. Thankfully, Christchurch, where we finished up today, that was pretty smooth sailing, all things considered.
Yeah. No, actually we got some great weather. The light in Christchurch was just fantastic. Probably the one thing that we probably learnt, which we didn't really sort of expect, was the degree of difficulty in filming plein air, where painting is one thing, but filming it is another thing. I've always worried about the wind, because I know when painting that's a real problem. But I think we managed to get through. We learnt on the job. We learnt on our feet as we went day to day. And I think that was a great experience in itself. So thanks for watching.
And bye for now.
See you next time.
Beat you to it.
In the old neighborhood.
We're in the hire car.
Time to go.
What? No, just in the hire car. That's all. There's no more, because the joke works better. Because I said we.
Cool. Managed to get quick steepers, bro.
Living only a 3-hour plane flight away from New Zealand, you kind of think you'd know the full extent of a disaster while you're not walking. But I think it's probably time we get the hire car.
Yep, sounds great. We'll go.
We'll do one more.
Okay.
And then
this
that's
guy
it.
wants to bring his.
Okay. Oopsie. Thank you.